Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of It's All in the Movies. My name's Dustin Ingalls, and each week I'll be joined by a guest to bring you reviews of the newest releases in theaters. This week I'm joined by my friend Greg Garner, and we'll be reviewing director Baz Luhrmann's adaptation of F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. So Greg, I know when we scheduled this, correct me if I'm wrong, that you were pretty excited for this movie before seeing it. Is that correct to say?
No, it's not.
It's not? You weren't excited for it? I completely misread it then.
No, I was excited to. I'm excited to go see any movie, but this movie, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know it was coming out until a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I saw, and I watched Colbert Report last night, and they had the whole show was devoted to this movie.
Have you seen Baz Luhrmann's other movies?
Yeah, I did see Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
And liked that a lot. But
cool.
yeah, it's funny, the Colbert Report show got me more excited than anything else for whatever reason.
Awesome. So what did you think of it?
I loved it.
You loved it? Awesome.
Yes, definitely glad I came to it. And I think I told you I was going to watch the movie that came out in '74.
Yeah.
And I got about probably 20 minutes into it, and it was just like, it was 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I'm just going to go to eat some potato chips and go to bed. So I just gave up on it.
Yeah.
This is so completely different.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. So I was skeptical about this movie from the get-go. I've seen Baz Luhrmann's other movies. They're not made for me, I guess. But I was a little hesitant about this one. But in the end, I think I liked it more than I hated it. So I guess he wins on points there.
All right, cool.
But I want to know. I should clarify that not only did we see The Great Gatsby, we saw The Great Gatsby in 3D.
Yes.
So I want to eventually, at one point, hear your thoughts on that. But I mean, I think that the first section of the movie, I wasn't on board, like just when Tobey Maguire was by himself as Nick Carraway. And once we kind of got introduced to Leonardo DiCaprio as Gatsby, I thought it really picked up. I thought I thought Leonardo DiCaprio did an awesome job. I thought it picked up at that point. I mean, were you on board the whole time? Were you?
No, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
And to go to the 3D thing, it probably took me up to that point to become okay with it. Because
I never got okay with it. It was it's fair. It was.
Well, and that's the thing; it's detracting, and
it is.
Well, and it takes for me. It takes a while to to get immersed into the movie and get taken away by it.
Right.
And it's a good movie if it does get to that level.
Yeah.
To that point, and at least in this movie, it did for me. And
Yeah.
definitely right when you said.
Yeah.
When Leonardo DiCaprio came in, when the Gatsby was introduced.
I mean, I liked it. I loved the feel of it. I mean, I thought the 3D took away from so much of like the colors and kind of all of that. We were saying, there's all this references to Gatsby's pink suit, and I kept saying, why do they keep saying that when he's not even wearing a pink suit? And then I took my glasses off and realized it was completely warped by the the glasses and the 3D effects.
Right.
So I just didn't like that. But also the other thing that bothered me is the music. I thought the score was really good when there was kind of this traditional score that went with the movie.
Right.
But when we're playing Jay-Z casually throughout it, I thought it was terrible.
Right. It's jarring, and I don't know. I was trying to go along with it, and I guess one thing you can take from it is that it brings it into this era.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I get that he was trying to do that, and I know, I was reading articles about other movies that did similar things. Like, you look at, Quentin Tarantino does a lot. Like, in Inglourious Basterds, you've got this World War II movie that has a big scene that's, goes along to a David Bowie song. But see, that doesn't bother me because it's kind of this one-time stylistic choice. This just seemed to be these weird kind of droppings of it here, and it didn't seem to really be doing anything. And then there would be these effective uses of it. Like there was this Lana Del Rey song that kind of, it kind of made it sound old-timey, but it was kind of brought in the other, kind of brought it into present day. But then you would have Jay-Z songs that were just Jay-Z songs, not changed at all.
Right.
And it was just weird. But anyway, so overall, would you recommend? I guess you would recommend people would go see it.
Yeah. Well, if you if you're a fan of something like Moulin Rouge, definitely you will love it. And
would you recommend they see it in 3D?
I would. And I guess if you want to talk about the 3D, I liked it. And this was the only movie that I've seen so far in 3D that I was. And it took me up to about the time when The Great Gatsby was introduced to just kind of get past it.
Yeah.
And not get past it, but just go, okay, I'm seeing what essentially on some scenes looks like. Well, and that's the thing. I think it works for this movie. I don't think it'll work for a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I think it looks like you're looking at a folding book or something.
It does, which I hated. But that's good. It's good. It's good.
I think it plays into a style of directing though, a little bit.
Yeah, I guess it does. But I mean, I think overall I would probably recommend it with reservations. I mean, it wasn't my favorite movie ever, but there are going to be people that are going to love this movie. And so, if you think you're going to like it, there's probably a good chance you're going to like it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend spending the money on 3D, but that's why you're hearing from two people, because you're going to hear,
I'd
some
say
people
spend the money on 3D. And I wouldn't think I'd say that. I thought I was going to have a migraine walking out of that movie.
It was so flat looking. And the only stuff that looked effective to me was the stuff I knew was computer generated. It was stuff that was superimposed on the film that was already,
like the green light. Can we say
yeah,
that?
yeah. There was a green, the green light or the snow or something like that that was computer generated. That would all look great. But the stuff that was done afterwards, I just thought it was so flat. It didn't look good to me. But who knows? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
One of the things I wanted to ask about, and I think this is probably an English lit question. What are the glasses? There are a bunch of times, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, but there are a lot of times in the movie where you see the billboard with the glasses and the eyes looking out on everybody.
Yeah, which you can see on the cover of the more recent editions of the book, just kind of like what Tobey Maguire called the eyes of God and
is that
looking
what it
down.
is?
Yeah,
Eyes of God?
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's kind of that. I don't know. I'm not a scholar, but kind of the. They always show it right when something big is happening. Kind of looking down on. Again, no spoilers, but events that are happening nearby that are really turning points in the movie.
Right. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I like parts of it, but yeah. So you hear two different things: one recommendation for 3D, and one for possibly seeing it and not 3D. But that's why we do this.
That's what this is all about.
Exactly. So I think that wraps it up. Thank you so much, Greg, for doing this. It's a fantastic job, and thank you so much for watching. Greg does some fantastic photography work, and you can check it out at bluegoosestudios.com. If you want to check out my website, you can go to it'sallinthemovies.com or shoot me an email at it'sallinthemovies@gmail.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.